Thank you for telling me that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So to start off, thank you everyone for being here at the first Senate meeting of SGA. We're going to start off with roll call as we normally do. Isaiah, where are we standing? The voting members.
12 out of 10.
Perfect. So we have one. We can actually vote on things. Wonderful. So moving on. We had 3 different voting items for today. The tabled student org proposal from last week of Alpha Epsilon Pi, the organization proposal of ASME, and the SGA logo competition for a new logo for SGA. However, seeing as Alpha Epsilon Pi is not here, I don't think we're going to be voting on that, which is lovely. So moving on, we're going to get started with the organization proposal from ASME. If you guys would like to come up here for the 5-ish minutes, 5-6-ish minutes presentation. Get started off. My brain is.
No worries. You're good. All right, my name is Raven Anik.
I'm Shruti Anbaragan.
And we're here representing ASME today. So our mission as the ASME Club at IIT would be to advance education, experience, and research in the field of engineering for the benefit of the IIT students and community, as well as humanity. This would follow right alongside the ASME national mission statement, which says, and I quote, "to achieve engineering for the benefit of humanity." So our club on campus would be exactly in line with the National Society. That's what we plan to do. So how are we going to accomplish this goal? We plan to host a lot of meetings and events and other activities to bring students all over campus together. We want this to be a hub and a place where mechanical engineering students can come together, can learn, can get professional experience and opportunities, can work on projects, but we're also not looking to discriminate here. Everyone's ideas help contribute to a great project. So if someone from chemical engineering, civil engineering, structural engineering, anyone is to get some hands-on experiences, projects we want to do to attend any of our lunch meetings, evening meetings, events, talks, professional development workshops. Everyone's welcome to attend. We're looking to advance education, learning, research, development, study, and development.
How does the organization benefit the students at IIT? So it creates a very well-developed engineering community for networking, career guidance resources, and also for other group projects and team building and leadership skills. So we also are planning on having different team leads and different group projects just for over the next few semesters. And it is not just based on just one particular topic, like how the other clubs right now are based on. And it is a place for all mechanical engineering students, considering that mechanical engineering is one of the bigger major community in IIT. ASME would be very beneficial for them. So how are we different from the other clubs already present in the campus? We're the only professional society that focuses on mechanical engineers in specific. It is also a good opportunity for other majors to explore how things in mechanical engineering work, and it will be a great chance if they have, thoughts of switching the field or combining 2 fields. It is an early exposure to career for all the students at IIT because it is a professional society. There are other professionals connected to ASME that we can always contact and connect with the students. And it is also offers flexibility when it comes to projects and research opportunities, as I said before.
That's all. Thank you all for your time and for listening. Do you have any questions for us?
As you said, we're going to be going into our 5-minute questions and answer period. Does anyone have any questions? online?
I'm good.
Can you just explain, just so I guess everyone's up to date on it? You guys were, or I guess are to your nationals, like existed on campus and sort of died off for a bit and are coming back, right?
Yeah, so basically what happened is we had an ASME professional society club on campus.
Mhm.
Over COVID, the club died, to
Sure.
put it very bluntly and simply. So we're presenting to the SGA to restart this club basically from scratch. The only reason why we can't try to reinstate it is because ASME has told us that they've scrapped our records. So they don't have any information for a professional ASME club being on IIT. We have to present again to then reestablish ourselves in ASME.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Jessa?
In your budget, you have several different events throughout April. Are these events consistent with what the previous instance of the organization did?
So we've been thinking about all the events we want to put on, and the reason why we have so many of them is because we're focused on recruiting. We don't want this club to die out. If anything, we want to make it bigger than it possibly ever could be, because we want to have a place where not only mechanical engineering students, which is kind of one of the larger majors on campus, but also just kind of any student who's really interested in getting their hands dirty and working with a project or learning about something or connecting with other professionals in the industry can have a place to meet and to work together and to network and to collaborate to develop those soft skills and those hard skills, resume building, all of those sorts of opportunities that come with being a club on campus that has sub teams that will work on projects, as well as being tied to professional organization where we can compete with our projects at professional national competitions, as well as be in a link with other professionals in the ASME society.
Yeah, also to add on, our goal this semester is just basically recruiting. So our budget does not reflect anything with the projects just yet, because we need to get the people in walking through the doors to start on any big projects that we have to focus on. So it's majorly for recruiting, and we still do have some certain build events that we have planned over the semester to still, have the hands-on opportunity.
Narendra, go ahead.
So I had a quick question, like for ASME, how does it support undergrad students or grad students on this? Because I know they help us in publishing papers and stuff and everything, but then how far is our campus in that? I'm not aware of it. That's why I asked this question.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Obviously, the ASME stands for the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Just like any of the other professional student orgs on campus, like AICHE for chemical engineers, the whole idea would be to create this professional society that students can network with other members in said professional society, whether they're graduate or undergraduate. So they have a link to professionals and they can network, they can find internships and job opportunities, as well as network with students on campus.
That makes sense. Thank you very much for the answer. Appreciate it. All right.
Are there any other questions? Do I have a motion to move into discussion?
So moved.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Is that Alex a second? No, Ben said second because he quietly said second after he said okay. Thank you for that. If you wouldn't mind just stepping out, we're gonna go to discussion. Okay, so does anyone have any points of discussion, concerns? I know Nova, you already had your hand up.
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so I mean Isaiah already kind of hit it, but ASME was an organization previously with IIT. As far as I'm aware, from the little bit of background research I've done, they were a decently successful organization. I went ahead and gave a look through the current finance board ledger, and it doesn't seem like there is any orgs geared towards mechanical engineering currently. And we have like orgs for chemical engineering, biomedical, and other stuff like that. So honestly, I really don't see any reason not to vote this organ. These kind of professional orgs within the engineering department tend to be pretty successful from what I understand. So yeah, I'd just like to urge everyone to vote yay on this. It seemed like their proposal was really good, and I think it would fit right in with the other similar student orgs.
Tessa?
So basically, the issue that they were facing was that their nationals wouldn't let them continue on. I think had that been different, they would be just a student org being sort of, but I've looked at previous budget that the previous instance of it got. They got far more money in 2021. I think the budget is fine. So I would urge the voting members to vote yay.
Are there any other comments, concerns, or do I have a motion to move the previous question?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Do I have any objections? You can
Not
go
from my
ahead.
side.
You can go ahead and release the voting form. Right, I'm gonna go talk to them while that takes place. We're going to go in alpha along.
Why do I have to put my email in when I sign in with Google?
That's it. Joel makes the form. Huh?
It's asking to sign in again.
I just work here. Sure.
Summarize. Okay. If you wouldn't mind just like summarizing the student organization again and then the budget. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. So we're a Jewish fraternity. We don't strictly require you to be Jewish, which has been previously asked. We're not a rerun of the last chapter. We're a new chapter, a different chapter name, chapter values. And we intend on hosting some Jewish cultural events besides just the general Greek events that most fraternities hold that are private. So we do intend to have public events, which is what you're mostly going to be seeing in the budget to promote Jewish culture. So I think that's pretty important on this campus. And, as far as budgets, to send you will easily. Yes, that's what I would. Because it's current. Forwarded it. Sure. So there's basically, I mean, we want to hold a few. So this is a budget for 2023. It covers just some generalities of cost of recruiting over here. Then we do want to hold some sort of Shabbat event, Passover, Pesach event, whatever you want to call it, which we're going to work with the dining people, Chartwells, yeah, to put on. It's kind of sparse, as most budgets looking this far into the future are, but it's just got a general idea of how much things cost. So you'll see there's just a few Jewish events. It's pretty cut dry.
I don't know why it's not loading. That is,
I can see it on Discord.
yeah. There we are. Yeah. Cool. All right. Want to just go over a question? So, one note about this is I won't be accepting motions to table a vote on this item because we have already tabled the student organization twice, and I kind of a little rude if we do that again. So, yeah. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions? Ben.
So I know last time, one of the things that got brought up was whether Alpha Epsilon Pi would join here. Just what you guys have planned for that.
As far as our plans of joining Greek Council, I wouldn't presume to know where we're going to be going with that. That's a whole other ballpark, whatever. Right now, we're just focused on becoming a student organization and hosting Jewish cultural events. Is that?
Derek, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious, members on your sheet, how many of them how many do you have as currently active, and then how many do you expect to be?
So we currently have, I'd have to review the sheet. But I know of for current, we're gonna be losing one for sure. Graduate. More joining, or they are already joining. It's been kind of weird being not. Yeah, so as far as member status, if they're on the sheet and they've accepted, then they're considered. We expect we'll replenish and increase our numbers by about 15%. Let's hope.
Are there any other questions? Do I have a motion to move into discussion? Okay. Thank you. Do I have any objections? Seeing none, we can move into discussion. All right. Okay. Comments, questions, concerns? Anything to light us on fire? Ben.
Yeah, so for me, I'm kind of. The council governs Rush Week. I'm assuming they're going to be part of it. If they can't commit to me that they're going to join free council and follow those rules that all of us are following, which involves can't hand out free merch, can't badmouth other Greek orgs on campus during Rush Week, substance free, blah, 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 whatever. They can't commit to me to that. They're not ready to.
I would like to raise a point of information with that. I know in previous meetings that they've mentioned that, or with the way that new fraternities have to be established, they have to first come before SGA before they come to Greek Council. And I know in previous meetings they have mentioned that they are going to be presenting to Greek Council. I think it's more likely that they are going us to say something, or they Greek to say something. So
I just asked it and I wasn't really given a yes or a no. So that's kind of improve them, they get access. Then all of us that are stuck having to follow the rules are stuck having to follow the rules and that they're not.
Fair.
Is it acceptable if I stepped out to ask them? Because I was the same concern. I'm torn because they said several times before that they were going to go to Greek council, but that was a really weird answer he just gave. I think he was confused. I wanted, is it okay if I ask to just your
That's fine. I don't see any reason not to.
If he's able to answer.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
answer.
Do you want us to wait for you?
You can go to the next point.
Do we have any other comments or concerns?
My hand is up.
Nova.
Yeah, so my opinions have already kind of been heard a little bit, and maybe I'll speak to them a little bit more if discussion continues. But I just want everyone to consider that IIT as a system and what we approve doesn't just exist in our little 4-block square in Chicago. Just like a stone in a pond, even though we may have a small effect, our ripples may be felt far. And I'm not going to reiterate the points I have mentioned, not right now anyways, but I would like to strongly urge all the members to vote nay on the concerns of where their funding will be, as well as about other concerns. Thank you.
Derek.
I would just like to say that I didn't have any prior commitments walking into this meeting today. And I made sure to speak with about 15 people about how they felt about this, just giving them the rundown. And I think that this is not the right move for our university, because I don't think a Jewish org is something that we don't need. It's definitely something that's needed, and the cultural piece of it is very important. But I think that adding a fraternity, which is already just based off the one gender for this cultural, and well as Nova said, some of the funding concerns and just some other concerns that I've heard people as well, that I will be voting no just based off that. It doesn't mean that we can't have a Jewish future, but I don't think this is the great
Information.
Yeah.
So to talk to Eli, he misunderstood the question. The short answer is yes, they're looking to join Greek council. The long answer was, what he meant by his answer was more so that they're trying to just focus on getting, like he said, SGA approval first. So they haven't, he said, we meant that like they just haven't fully thought about their proposal to Greek council, but they do fully expect to be on Greek council. He just kind of misunderstood was being asked.
Gotcha. We have about 40 seconds left on discussion. Is there a motion to extend discussion? If so, by how long?
So moved, and by 3 minutes.
Fair. Do I have a second? Do I have an objection? Okay. So, does anyone, Nova, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess I suppose I will elaborate a little bit. I will be speaking on public information that is publicly available by their tax records. So last meeting, the representative did confirm, or the representative from AEPI did confirm that they do plan on funding through their national philanthropy project, the AEPI National Fraternity. And one of the groups that philanthropy has consistently donated to is a group that is funded by the Israeli State Ministry on Intelligence, aka a spy agency that intentionally attacks pro-Palestinian students that have spoken up on campuses across the nation. So I would like to strongly urge in favor of vulnerable Palestinian students to vote nay on this proposal. And also, piggybacking off the previous point, I would like to say I would love to see a general Jewish cultural.
Sorry about that. We've had concerns in previous meetings about statements along those lines. He's already been talking about it. So, does anyone else have any points of discussion?
So, assuming they do get approval, are they just allowed to operate as a student org without, Greek council? Like if Greek council denies them, can they just,
I can explain it a little bit.
Yeah.
So the school has a procedure for new Greek houses that I read. Essentially, what happens is they have to go through SGA first. So they're a student organization, meaning that they can request SAF funding, everything like that. In their situation, if they're approved but they're not approved by Greek council, that just means that technically they don't have to follow rush rules, but they're saying that they can't use rush week as their improvement week. So like they don't have to follow Greek life's rules, but also they are literally not allowed to do so because they're not a member of Greek council. So the next step for them would be to then get approval by Greek council, and at that point they're on the same footing as everybody else. If they got denied by Greek council, then it goes back to what I just said. They would just be technically a student organization. They are a fraternity, sure, in terms of just technically, but they would not be able to do anything Greek life related. That makes sense.
could their funding be withheld, until they get approval from Greek council?
No, because that's two separate processes. Yeah.
Are there any other comments, concerns, Tessa?
Could you elaborate on what Greek council approval is for?
Council approval means that essentially they've been, I guess, welcome to Greek life, essentially. So that means that they could engage in Greek week, they can fully participate in improvement week. I know the quad is open to anybody, but like we would always invite them out to the quad and have a seat on Greek council themselves. Like they're just fully now developed within the Greek life, is essentially what that would be. So
We are out of time. Would you like to extend discussion?
I was excited by like 2 minutes maybe.
Sure. Do we have a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
Is there any way because I mean, I feel like it's kind of not fair if we just say, oh, like, you are just gonna be an org, and you're not gonna get Greek approval. Like, we didn't even give them a chance to get Greek approval.
no, this has to happen first. I'm sorry to cut you.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like if we just like stop them here, like they'll never even get a chance to get Greek council approval. Like, would there be like a way that we can approve them? They don't get approved, and then we can revoke their status as a student org, something like that. Like
I feel
impeach
like the
their student
senator
org.
could probably bring up.
Like, I feel like we should give them a chance at least.
But this is the process that all organizations must undergo. So I don't think it would be fair for us to pick an anomaly and have them be the exception and not make them go through the same process.
So
Well, they're going through the process. I'm just asking if we can like impeach a student org.
I don't know about impeaching a student organization. I have not historically heard or seen any specific cases like that. But I do know that we have had conditional approvals be done before in exceptional circumstances. I'm trying to remember.
There's like nothing like in the Constitution or anything to like, or not but like just a SGA process to like revoke a student org's like designation. Like if they,
I don't think I could think of is if a senator specifically brought up a concern with the OCO at that point.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's historically ever really happened.
And we are out of time. Alejandro, do you want to extend?
No, it's okay.
Cool. Unless I see a motion to extend, we'll be released.
I'd like to make a motion to extend by 5 minutes.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, do I have any objections? Tessa, we have an objection on the floor. We'll do.
Could I explain why my motion, since we're have an objection heard?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to make my extensions on the ground that I have more things to say and I was muted, and I would like to further make a motion if we extend discussion.
I second the motion. I just didn't press the right button to unmute.
Okay. Wait. All right. Tessa, do you want to explain your objection?
You've had this discussion many times. While I agree with the concerns that Nova brings up, I don't believe that we need to, I don't think that we need to draw this out. Or,
That's on Tesla's
if
objection.
it's 2 minutes, I would draw my objection.
Okay,
Sure, I would be willing to have it be 2 minutes.
okay, got it. But I am letting you know, Nova, that on the basis of previous requests to mute you, that I will mute you depending on your statements. So
Okay.
please try and keep it.
So are we in discussion?
Yes, we are.
I'd like to make a motion to overrule my muting by the chair. I'd like to make a motion to overrule the chair on my muting.
Okay, do we have a second for that?
Second.
Roll call to
He can vote to overrule my decision to mute him based on his topics of discussion. Yeah.
The
Der-
Robert's Rules of Order thing.
Yeah. Derek, did you have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have an objection? Seeing none. Honestly, I don't actually know really what to do in this situation.
So from what I've seen, it's a vote. The majority of the voting members have to agree with Nova saying that they.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, gotcha. So, if you agree that Nova should be unmuted for the entirety of his discussion period effectively, would you please raise your hand? That includes online.
Is this in voting in favor, I'm guessing? So
Yes, this is voting in favor.
Okay, I got that. Let me go against. Oh, so, okay.
Do we have any online?
I have the online. The majority is, yeah.
Majority of people online.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The votes, the majority is.
Okay, got it. All right, Nova, your motion passes. Go ahead.
Excellent. I'll keep it quick. Don't worry, it'll definitely be less than 2 minutes. But I just want everyone to consider that the money AEPI, if we allow them on our campus to fund, will inevitably go towards, at least in some small part, hurting Palestinian students, protesters, and student orgs. One big part of SGA, I believe we're supposed to do is create a community in which all student orgs can collaborate and all students feel welcome. And I strongly worry that if we accept AEPI here on campus, we will be funding an organization which has a proven history of harming Palestinian students. That could be here on campus, that could be on other campuses, and that is not something I believe we can morally accept. So for the final time, and this is the final time, I promise, I strongly, strongly urge all of the voting members to vote nay, or at the very least, to abstain on this. Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have like 40 seconds left. If anyone wants to extend, I'm going to require a formal vote on it. You want to extend?
Can I say something real quick as long as it's within time limit? I just want to say that in regards to Nova's point specifically, and sorry if this is controversial by any chance, but I just think that that's not necessarily a good reason to disprove that, just because small part of pretty much all the money that we spend on almost anything will go towards something harmful. Many things just as, if not more harmful than the things that Nova described. So I just think being logically consistent, that shouldn't be a reason to disprove that.
And with that, we are out of time. Does anyone have a motion to extend? Again, I will.
I move the previous question.
Do I have a
Second.
Okay, go ahead and release the voting form. Cool. So I'm gonna go out there and get him, but for now, we're going to move on to the SGA logo competition. So if you would like to.
All right, guys, logos.
Hey, logo.
Woo!
So unfortunately, Elio could not be here to present the logos, so he asked me to fill in for him. So I'm going to present the logos. I don't know if. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so just going to talk about each logo. Right here, we got option number 1. We got this logo with the curved lettering, keeping that from the current logo we have now. some strong imagery of, justice with the statue in the middle with the badge. Pretty solid, option number one. Option number two, we got the beautiful golden rings encompassing the SGA, to, show a sense of solidarity. And it's got the imagery of a balance in the middle to show justice. So it's a solid option number two. We got option number three, a modern logo. It has an homage to the old logo with the students congregating, together, with the Illinois Tech logo below that. So it kind of pays respects to what previously came while doing a modern take on the SGA logo. And then we have logo number four, which, I mean, it just screams modernity. I mean, it's simple, it's elegant, it gets the point across, SGA right in the middle. And it even keeps some of the Illinois Tech colors with the scarlet red and the gray. So those are your four options, and you got to pick one.
The way the voting form is, it's a Google form, of course, and then just we have each logo that you can select. So as a release. So any questions? Yeah, we're gonna go discussion first, but I'm just letting you know. Since Joel's not here, we go to discussion now.
Oh,
Yeah, since Joel's not here, we can go to discussion now. I'll keep track of time. I saw Tessa. Go ahead.
Okay, so these are all interesting logos. I think one of the goals of this whole logo design contest was a modern logo that keeps with the times. I think I personally think that the logo in the bottom left would be best logo for our group, because it if we're looking at the modern logos, which are the bottom ones, one of them gets the point across and tells a lot more than the other.
I like the bottom left as well, but I also like the bottom right. And I know we have like multiple different designs for a logo, right? And like how simple it is. So I think maybe incorporating that on smaller stuff where we put our logos. But I do like the bottom left.
Someone's online. Nova, go first.
Heck yeah. First off, I just want to say, I don't know if it was said previously, but I'm incredibly thankful for all the people who submitted logo designs to SGA. We need this rebranding dearly, and I'm glad we have students who are very interested. With that being said, I do think the bottom left logo is the superior option of the four. All four of them are great, but I think the bottom left does really encompass a lot of the values while still remaining readable and sleek and modern. So when the voting form is released, I hope everyone will vote for the third/bottom left option, however it's ordered. And yeah, thank you.
I want to mention that when designing a logo, I think a couple of things to keep in mind are one, does it relate to, like we said about it being modern, but then can it also stand the test of time? I think the other ones might be a little flashy in a sense and may not hold up as well over time. I also think it needs to be something easily recognizable and not overly complicated. Like as cool as I think that the top left one is, might not be something that automatically sticks in someone's head as something that they would associate with SGA or something that they would easily recreate themselves. And then the other thing was, I should think it was it. But yeah, those are the main reasons why I think the bottom left would probably be the best.
Jacob, your hand went up. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want a motion to move to voting.
Second.
All right.
You can take it back.
I can send it out. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're going into exec reports. So,
I don't know. That's a Joel decision.
there's no abstain option on there. Minor oversight, but
You want to abstain, just abstain from clicking the link.
okay. So I'll do Naeem's slide for him. He is currently away at the 49th annual convention for NISB, but will be back on Monday. There will not be an RHA meeting tomorrow, but instead there will be special content, which I'm guessing is through an email, so on and so forth, will be released instead. So moving on, we have the president.
Oh. Yeah, election day is next week. So please spread the word. Really important. Most of the positions are, I think all but two of, well, I guess technically all but three of them are contested. I'll answer your question in a second. But yeah, literally it's next week. Please get the word out. I'll probably be standing on the bridge all day on Wednesday. Stuff, so definitely.
What day next week?
Next week, at like exactly 1 week.
Yeah.
Wednesday the 29th.
It's in exactly a week, March 20th.
It's always on the day of.
That confused me.
So yeah, I'll announce the results at the next SGA meeting. And yeah, we'll go from there. Inauguration day will be April 19th. So we'll spend the next, we being the executive board, we'll spend the next couple of weeks doing transition. Then on April 19th, which should be the last Senate meeting of the year, we'll officially switch things over. So that's how that go. The last big thing too is that the SGA debates will be on Monday and Tuesday during the lunch hour in the Wishman Hall auditorium. I just talked to Tech News this morning about it. The split's going to be Monday, be all the vice president candidates. So EPAA, campus side, resident side engagements. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Then Tuesday will be the presidential candidates and then the two running for finance board chair. So spread the word about that as well. Think of questions, all the candidates. I'll send an official announcement to you guys probably tonight or tomorrow morning. But yeah, we're kind of in the wrap up season for the year. So yeah, questions, sorry.
About voting, is there any way the candidates can get like a link to the voting form so that they can create like QR codes for promotional materials?
Sure, I haven't made the form. I can make the form this weekend and I can send it out to you guys. I just haven't made it yet, literally. So yeah. Other thing too, I'm sorry. In terms of communication to the student body, so on Monday, the Dean of Students Office will send out notification to everyone because they have access to everyone's email saying who's running for a position up and down the ballot. Also announcing the debates. Then on Wednesday morning, they will be releasing the voting form at midnight. But I can send you guys that now and I'll just
So the candidate list gets announced Monday.
yeah, through the whole school will be on Monday. Yeah.
So moving on, we have Celestine.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
How are you? I just
Good.
wanted to highlight our notes that Rachel provided. I actually didn't have any additional things to add, but candidates, make sure you send your posters to Rachel and she will put them on Upshow, so that'll be shown throughout the campus. And also April next month will be Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And one of the initiatives will be to walk a mile in her shoes with OCL, that's Office of Campus Life, and the heels will be provided. Also, we felt that the Taste of Culture event that took place last night was a success. The president, Takesha Hill, stated that there were 401 student RSVPs listed in suitable and in combination of methods of registration. And also late night is Friday. So if you want to participate, that should be great. And the Campus Life staff, we were going to rotate our schedules to make sure the times are accommodated. And the last thing that I didn't add, and I thought about it toward the end, and you did get the information last week, but we will be having a Coretta Scott King panel, and that will be Monday, the 27th of March. And that will be on campus, an on-campus event. And that's it. That concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
We have senator reports. Does anyone have anything to report? Seeing none? Floor. Does anyone have anything? Tessa?
I'm no longer under the GI shed. The GI, and I'm in GI.
Nova?
Heck yeah. So I didn't have a exec report. You guys might have noticed. That's because I haven't done anything. Some of you guys already know this, but I'm on extended vacation. I will be back next week though, in time for the debates. Do say hi to me. I like people telling me hi. Or if you have any cool stories on tech news, or like for tech news, let me know because I'm rearing to write something. That's all. Great meeting today. High five.
All right. Is there someone else?
No, just me.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, just as an FYI, there's a admissions event Thursday, Friday, Hard Preview Day, so you might see a couple of random high schoolers walking around.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, not too many. But the commons will be pretty full on Thursday and Friday, just to let you know ahead of time.
From the couple of visitors.
Yeah. 3 high school students. Is there anything else for open floor? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we're done.
Woo!
So, under an hour.
You're an hour.
New record.
Wow.
Absolutely. New record.
With how many voting items we had.
That's good.
That was efficient.
Yeah.
All the extensions too.
I'm surprised that it was under an hour with all those.
You ever had the oval share? No, those
No. All right, I'm gonna close up the